Your cat could be in genuine significant pain right now, and you might have absolutely no idea. Not because you're a bad owner, because that's exactly how your cat wants it. No limping you'd notice, no whimpering, no obvious signs at all, just a slightly quieter version of the same cat you saw yesterday. Veterinarians have a grim name for this. They call cats masters of disguise, and it's not a compliment to their acting skills. It's a warning about how much suffering can be happening in complete silence, right under your nose, for months at a time. Let's start with the number that stops most cat owners cold. Researchers using X-rays to study feline joints have found that osteoarthritis, a genuinely painful degenerative joint condition, is present in up to 90% of cats over the age of 12. 90%. And yet ask any vet how many owners come in specifically because they noticed their older cat was in pain. And the number is a fraction of that. The disconnect isn't because cats aren't suffering, it's because they've evolved, over hundreds of thousands of years, to make absolutely sure you can't tell. To understand why, you have to stop thinking of your cat purely as a predator, and start thinking of it as something else entirely, prey. In the wild, a cat's ancestors hunted birds and rodents, yes, but they were also hunted themselves, by larger cats, by birds of prey, by anything bigger and hungrier looking for an easy meal. And in that world, there is no more dangerous signal an animal can broadcast than weakness. A limping antelope gets circled by the pack, an injured bird gets picked off first. Predators are constantly scanning for exactly one thing, the animal in the group that's slower, weaker, easier to catch. Showing pain wasn't just embarrassing for a small wildcat. It was often a direct invitation to become someone's dinner. So evolution did what it always does with a life or death problem. It built a mask, and it built it well. Cats that could hide injury, hide illness, hide exhaustion, and keep functioning normally in front of threats survived longer than cats that couldn't. Over enough generations, that masking ability stopped being a conscious choice and became hardwired instinct, present in every single domestic cat today, regardless of whether it has ever seen a predator in its life. Your indoor cat, safe on your couch, has never once needed to hide pain from a hawk. Its nervous system doesn't know that. It's still running the same ancient defense program. Here's where it gets even more interesting, because this instinct isn't only about predators. It's also about status within the cat's own social world. Cats, even solitary ones, exist within loose territorial hierarchies. An injured or sick cat isn't just vulnerable to outside predators. It's vulnerable to rival cats too. More likely to lose territory, lose access to food, lose standing. So the mask serves double duty, hiding weakness from anything that might hunt you, and hiding weakness from anything that might simply take advantage of you being down. Either way, the safest move, biologically, was always to look completely fine until the absolute last possible moment. Now let's talk about what this actually looks like day to day, because it's subtler than most owners expect. A cat in genuine pain doesn't necessarily stop eating. It doesn't necessarily cry out. What it does is far quieter. It might jump onto the counter slightly less often, and you chalk that up to getting older. It might groom itself a little less, and you assume it's just being lazy. It might sleep in a slightly different position, tucked tighter, and you don't think anything of it at all. Every single one of these is a documented pain behavior in veterinary literature, and every single one is easy to miss precisely because it looks like nothing. This is exactly why, in 2019, researchers at the University of Montreal developed something called the Feline Grimace Scale, a tool built entirely around the idea that if cats won't tell you they're in pain with sound or obvious behavior, their faces might quietly tell you anyway. The scale tracks 5 specific facial features: ear position, whether the eyes are held tightly closed, muzzle tension, whisker position, and head posture. Slightly flattened ears, a subtle squint, whiskers pulled forward and bunched instead of relaxed and spread. None of it looks dramatic. All of it, together, forms a pain signature so consistent that veterinarians can now score it almost like a photograph checklist, catching real pain in animals that show absolutely no other outward sign of it at all. Think about what that actually means. A tool had to be scientifically developed and validated just to catch what a cat's face is quietly doing anyway, because the behavior itself was never going to give it away. Your cat is not choosing to suffer in silence out of stubbornness. It is running a survival algorithm so deeply embedded that even now, curled up safely on your bed with 0 predators for 1,000 miles in any direction, it still can't switch it off. And this creates a genuinely dangerous blind spot for cat owners, because it means the moment you finally do see obvious pain, limping, crying, refusing to move, that's rarely the beginning of the problem. That's usually the mask finally failing, the pain having become so severe that the ancient instinct to hide it simply can't hold anymore. Vets sometimes describe this as cats presenting late, arriving at the clinic already in an advanced stage of arthritis, dental disease, or internal illness, because every earlier, subtler signal was small enough for the cat to successfully cover and small enough for a loving, attentive owner to reasonably miss. So what does actually give it away before that final collapse of the mask? Vets who specialize in this look for changes so small they sound almost silly to mention out loud. A cat that used to sit upright now sitting slightly hunched. A cat that used to greet you at the door now waiting on the couch instead. A cat that groomed itself into a glossy coat now looking slightly matted in one specific spot it can't comfortably reach anymore. None of these individually mean much. Together, tracked over weeks, they're often the only visible trail left by an animal working very hard to convince you nothing is wrong. There's something almost heartbreaking about the logic of it, once you really sit with it. Your cat isn't hiding pain from you because it doesn't trust you or doesn't love you. It's hiding pain from you because somewhere in its nervous system, written by 100,000 years of predators and rivals, you still register as part of a world where showing weakness gets you killed. The safest, most loved house cat on earth is still quietly performing a survival strategy built for a much harsher one. So the next time your cat seems just a little off, a little quieter, a little less inclined to leap up onto that windowsill it used to love, take it seriously. You're not watching a mood. You're watching the last, thinnest edge of a mask that took hundreds of thousands of years to build, one your cat is still wearing perfectly, even here, even now, even when there's nothing left in the world for it to actually hide from. If this changed how closely you watch your cat, hit subscribe, because this channel keeps uncovering the ancient instincts hiding behind the everyday things your cat does. And if you know someone whose older cat has seemed a little quieter lately, send them this video. It might be the thing that gets that cat to the vet in time.